The house at the end of the silent road. On the outskirts of a quiet village, there was a narrow road that few people dared to walk. The path was long and shadowed by old trees whose branches blocked the sunlight. At the very end of that road stood an old, forgotten house, decayed, dusty, and swallowed by time. The villagers had long avoided it. They said that anyone who entered the house after sunset would never come out the same. One night, 3 teenagers, Rian, Dika, and Cinta dared each other to prove that the legend was just a story. With flashlights and a camera in hand, they laughed as they made their way down the silent road. But the closer they got, the heavier the air became. The sound of crickets suddenly vanished. When they pushed open the front door, the hinges creaked slowly. A stale, moldy smell filled the air. Inside, they saw old family photos with the faces torn out, a clock frozen at 12 a.m., and a rocking chair moving by itself. Cinta turned toward the camera. "Did you see that?" she whispered. Dika stepped closer to the chair, but then footsteps echoed from upstairs, even though the house had no staircase. Rian's flashlight shook in his hand. "Let's get out of here," he said, trembling. But when they turned around, the front door was gone, replaced by a wall covered in red writing. "You're next." That night, only the camera was found in front of the old house. On the recording, there was a faint giggle, followed by a whisper. 2 days after the 3 teenagers went missing, the police arrived at the end of the silent road. The only clue they had was the small camera found near the front steps of the abandoned house. Officer Malik pressed the play button. The footage was shaky, showing the 3 friends laughing as they entered the house. But as the minutes passed, the laughter turned into whispers, and the whispers into screams. Then the screen went black. At the end of the recording, a faint female voice whispered something. Malik rewound the tape. "Help me, she's still here." The voice wasn't any of the missing teenagers. That night, Malik couldn't sleep. The words kept echoing in his head. At 2 a.m., his phone buzzed, an unknown number. When he answered, all he heard was static. And then the same voice from the recording, "Why did you take my camera?" The next morning, Malik's patrol car was found at the same road. Door open, engine still running. Inside was the camera again, turned on, recording. The final clip showed the old house from a distance. In one of the broken windows, a woman in white was standing still, holding the same camera. She smiled and whispered to the lens. The disappearance of Officer Malik shook the entire village. After that night, no one dared to go near the silent road except for one person. Lena, a young journalist from the city, arrived determined to uncover the truth. She had heard rumors about the woman in white, a ghost said to guard the old house. Some believed she was the spirit of a mother who lost her family in a fire decades ago. Others said she was never human at all. Lena brought with her a drone, a flashlight, and a voice recorder. As she walked down the road, the air grew colder, and fog began to rise from the ground. At the gate, she pressed record. This is Lena Hartono. October 16th, I'm entering the house at the end of the silent road. Inside, everything was just as the police described: dusty, lifeless, frozen in time. But there was one thing new, a mirror standing in the middle of the living room. Lena approached it slowly. Her reflection flickered. For a second, she saw someone standing behind her, a woman with long black hair and a pale face. Lena spun around. No one there. She lifted her recorder again, her voice shaking. "If anyone can hear me, please give me a sign." Then came a whisper close to her ear. "You shouldn't have come." The lights on her recorder blinked red, picking up voices from every direction: soft crying, faint laughter, and one clear sentence repeated over and over: "Bring them back." Lena dropped the recorder and ran toward the door. But just like before, the exit was gone. The last thing her camera captured was the mirror, and the reflection of the woman in white smiling as she reached out from inside the glass. A week after Lena's disappearance, her footage mysteriously appeared online. No one knew who uploaded it. The channel had no name, no profile, and no description. The video was simply titled, "The House at the End of the Silent Road, Full Recording." At first, viewers thought it was just another ghost hunting vlog. The comments were full of jokes until people started claiming strange things. I saw a face behind me while watching. My screen flickered and I heard someone whisper my name. The mirror moved. Within hours, the video was deleted, but it was too late. Copies had already spread everywhere. In one of the clips, you can clearly see Lena's reflection. But when slowed down, another figure appears, the woman in white. Standing closer to the camera each time you play it, a paranormal investigator named Arga decided to test the legend. He watched the video at midnight alone with a mirror beside him. He recorded everything. At the 3-minute mark, his camera captured something impossible. In the reflection, the woman in white was standing inside the mirror, her head slowly tilting. Then she raised her hand and tapped the glass 3 times. Tap, tap, tap. The reflection of Arga disappeared. The next morning, his neighbors found his room empty. The mirror was still there, cracked, and on the surface, written in fog, were the words, "One more viewer." That night, the mysterious channel uploaded a new video. The thumbnail showed Arga's reflection, smiling. After Arga's disappearance, the video resurfaced again, this time on the dark web. It appeared under the title, "Watch Before Midnight, the Real Haunted Footage." Users said it could only be viewed once. The file deleted itself after playing, but those who watched never logged in again. Some claim the video used your webcam to look back at you. A hacker named Reno, known for debunking supernatural hoaxes, decided to investigate. He downloaded the file and began recording his screen. At first, it was the same footage Lena's investigation, the mirror, the whispers. But halfway through, something strange happened. The video glitched, and his own face appeared on the screen, lit from his webcam. Then behind him, a second figure appeared. A woman in white, smiling. Reno spun around. Nothing there. When he looked back at his monitor, the reflection of the woman was standing right behind his chair. He yanked the power cable from his PC. The screen went black, but a faint tapping sound echoed in his room. Tap, tap, tap. When he turned on his flashlight, his mirror, once clean, was now fogged up with fresh fingerprints and a message, written in dripping letters. "You uploaded it too." Moments later, his computer turned on by itself. A new upload began automatically. File name, the house_EP6MP4. And this time, the thumbnail showed Reno's room, still recording. 2 weeks after Reno vanished, strange uploads began appearing across the world. Each one carried the same name, the house_EP6MP4. They appeared on different servers, in different countries, Japan, Brazil, Indonesia, even on private police databases. No one knew how they were uploaded. No one admitted to clicking play, but those who did never logged in again. A cybercrime unit called the Echo Division was formed to track the origin of the file. Their lead investigator, Captain Myra, traced the first signal back to an IP address that no longer existed. Coordinates led her to one location, a narrow, forgotten road. On the edge of a village, the Silent Road. When Myra and her team arrived, the old house was gone. Only the foundation remained, and a shattered mirror half buried in the soil. As they examined the shards, one of the agents noticed something horrifying. Inside the reflection, they could see faces, hundreds of them, pressed against the glass as if trying to escape. Among them, Rian, Dika, Sinta, Malik, Lena, and Reno. The reflection began to move. All the faces turned toward Myra, and then, one by one, they whispered through the shards, "Set us free. She's coming." The wind howled. The ground trembled. The broken mirror reassembled itself, piece by piece, forming a full, glowing surface. Myra stepped back, eyes wide. In the mirror stood the woman in white, smiling. But this time she spoke clearly, her voice echoing in every device, every monitor around the world. "Thank you for finding my house." Every camera in the Eco Division's van turned on by itself. The live feed uploaded instantly, and a new video appeared online. The house_EP7MP4. The night the house_EP7MP4 appeared, every screen on Earth flickered. Phones, TVs, even digital billboards all displayed the same image. A dimly lit hallway, and at the end of it, the woman in white standing perfectly still. At first, people thought it was a global hack. News channels tried to cut the feed, but it returned every time. Some anchors began to scream live on air before the broadcast went dark. Every device that played the video became connected, sharing one synchronized signal called the silent stream. Captain Myra, now the only surviving member of the ICO division, tried to shut it down from their underground server room. But when she entered the command center, the monitors turned on by themselves. On the main screen, a familiar face appeared, Lena, the missing journalist. Her eyes were hollow, her voice calm. "You shouldn't fight her," Lena said. "She doesn't want revenge. She wants remembrance." The room filled with whispers, echoing the same word, remember. Myra played the earliest recovered footage, a forgotten tape from decades ago. It showed the same house when it was still new, full of laughter. A woman wearing white was holding her baby. Then the camera shook violently. Smoke, screams, fire. The woman cried for help, trapped behind a mirror as the flames consumed the house. The glass melted around her, sealing her inside forever. Myra realized the truth. The woman wasn't a monster, she was a memory, replaying her pain through every reflection she could reach. Myra faced the last mirror standing in the room. "I remember you," she whispered, "and I'm sorry." The woman in white smiled softly for the first time. The mirrors across the world began to crack, one by one, until the silent stream went dark. For a moment, peace returned. But just as Myra began to leave, she noticed her own reflection linger behind, smiling differently. Then her radio crackled. A faint voice whispered through the static, "You set her free. Now she's inside you." The recording ended. Days later, a new upload appeared under a new title. Months after the silent stream ended, the world began to forget. The viral videos were erased, the files corrupted, the mirrors replaced. People said it was just another internet hoax. But deep inside an abandoned government archive, one file remained untouched. The road_never_ends.mp4. When an intern named Devin was assigned to clean the old server, he stumbled upon it. The thumbnail showed only static, but when he hovered over the preview, a faint image appeared. A road, empty and dark, and someone walking down it, wearing a white coat. Devin hesitated, then pressed play. The video began with heavy breathing and the crunch of gravel underfoot. A woman's voice whispered, "It never ends, does it?" The camera turned, revealing Captain Myra, her face pale, her eyes completely white. She looked straight into the lens. She's not gone. She just needed a new road. The footage glitched, showing flashes of mirrors, burning rooms, and screaming faces. Rian, Dika, Cinta, Lena, Reno, all trapped behind glass again. Then the camera panned to a house, rebuilt, cleaner, newer. The same house, standing once more at the end of a freshly paved road. Myra placed her hand on the doorknob. Someone always finds the way back. She opened the door, and the camera's perspective shifted as if the viewer was being pulled inside. A final whisper echoed through the static, "Welcome home." The screen went black. But after a few seconds, the video continued, showing Devin's reflection in the monitor, watching in silence. He blinked. Behind him, in the reflection, stood Myra, in white. The feed cut. The file renamed itself automatically. The _HOUSE_EP1_reborn.mp4. And so the road began again. It's been 1 year since the _house_EP1_reborn.mp4 appeared online. No one knows who uploaded it, but the file spread faster than any virus ever could, hidden inside live streams. Video ads, even CCTV feeds. Every time someone tried to delete it, it reappeared somewhere else. And those who watched it started dreaming about the silent road. In every dream, the road ended the same way. A house in the distance, faint light flickering from a single window, and a voice whispering, "Come home?" A new investigative channel called Night Watch. Files decided to stream a live exploration, claiming they found the house's new location. Somewhere outside of Jakarta, thousands joined the stream. The host, Nadia, led her crew down a narrow road surrounded by tall grass. The air was thick. Their signal kept cutting out. "Looks fake," one viewer commented. But then the house came into view, old, quiet, and exactly like the legend. Inside, they found a large mirror in the center of an empty room. Carved into the floor beneath it were the words, "Welcome back, Devon." Nadia frowned. "Who's Devon?" Before anyone could answer, their cameras started flickering. For a split second, the live stream showed Captain Myra, standing in the reflection, smiling directly at the audience. The chat exploded. "Did you see that?" She looked at me through my screen. Suddenly the feed went black. Only the sound of footsteps remained. Getting closer to the microphone, then Nadia's trembling voice. "It's not a reflection anymore. It's opening. Static. A screen." Then the live stream cut out completely. The next day, the Night Watch Files channel was gone, deleted, no trace. But a new channel appeared hours later with no subscribers. No history, only one video. The _house_EP 10.mp4 scheduled premiere tomorrow, 0 o'clock. The thumbnail? A mirror. And behind the glass, you. Midnight arrived. Millions of people around the world were waiting for the premiere of the _house_EP 10.mp4. No one uploaded it. No one could stop it. The countdown hit 0, and every screen, phone, and monitor lit up at once. At first, only a quiet hum could be heard. Then the image appeared, a mirror in the center of a dark room. A faint figure slowly emerged in the reflection. It was Nadia, the missing host from Night Watch Files. Her voice trembled as she looked into the camera. "If you're watching this, you've already opened the door." Behind her, shapes moved in the dark, faces, pale and silent, pressed against the mirror's surface. Rian, Dika, Cinta, Malik, Lena, Reno, Myra, Devon. Every soul the house had taken. The hum grew louder, turning into static. One by one, the reflections turned their heads toward the viewers, toward you. "It's not the house," Nadia whispered. "It's the mirror. It was never a place. It's a gateway." The mirror began to ripple like water. Something reached through, pale fingers dragging across the glass, leaving streaks of red. Then a single whisper echoed through every speaker. Every headset, every device in the world. "Look behind you." Viewers around the globe reported their screens flickering. Some swore they saw their own reflections move a second slower. Others said they heard breathing that wasn't theirs. Then the video abruptly cut to black. A message appeared on the screen. "The road has ended. The house is everywhere." For a moment, silence. Then one more upload appeared. No title, no thumbnail, just a file name. mirror_lev_feed.mp4. When clicked, it didn't open a video. It opened the viewer's own webcam. And in the background of every reflection, a faint figure in white, standing quietly at the end of a long, silent road. The story of the house at the end of the silent road ends here? Or maybe it just begins again, every time someone dares to look into a mirror after midnight. Thank you for watching. Everyone believed it was over after the final reflection. The upload stopped. The mirrors went dark. The world moved on. Until one day, people began hearing knocks. Not from mirrors, from walls. It started small, faint tapping sounds late at night, always in threes. Then came whispers from inside the walls, murmuring names that no one had spoken in years. Tap, tap, tap. "Can I come in?" Security footage from random homes began appearing online, silent. Grainy videos showing shadows forming on walls, stretching, bending until they looked like doorways. And through those doorways, hands began to reach out. In a government bunker beneath the city, a group of survivors from the Echo division had been monitoring residual data from the mirror feed. They discovered something terrifying. The virus had evolved. It no longer needed reflection. It had learned to use sound. Captain Myra's old voice logs began to replay themselves inside the system, even though her file had been destroyed. In one audio clip, her voice said, "She's rebuilding the house, piece by piece." Inside the sound itself, meanwhile, a boy in a small town named Rafi recorded strange noises coming from his bedroom wall. He uploaded the clip to social media with the caption, "There's someone knocking from inside." The post went viral overnight. Millions watched the 20-second video, and for most, nothing happened. But a handful of people heard something different, a soft female voice saying, "Thank you for opening the new door." The next morning, Rafi's room was empty. The wall, where his bed once stood, had changed. There was now a door carved into it, one that no one remembered building. And when investigators opened it, the inside was pitch black. But faintly, from the darkness, came the sound of footsteps and a whisper. "The house has found its way back." A new file appeared online hours later. No title, just this message. The _house_EP 12.mp4, coming soon. Location, unknown. The file the _house_EP 12.mp4 appeared at midnight with no uploader. No source, no metadata. It was only 4 minutes long, but everyone who played it heard something different. Some heard crying, some heard their own voices whispering back at them, and a few heard knocking. Tap, tap, tap. The camera in the video showed nothing but a wall, cracked, damp, breathing. Then slowly, a door handle began to emerge from inside the concrete, pushing outward as if something was trying to come through. Across the world, strange events began to occur simultaneously. Walls in people's homes started to move, pulsing softly like they were alive. Dogs barked at corners. Mirrors shattered without reason. The survivors from the old Echo division realized what was happening. The curse was no longer digital. It had crossed over. "It's not about seeing her anymore," one of them said. "It's about letting her in." At 3 a.m., a live stream went viral. Someone had found the original house, but now it was different. It had doors everywhere, dozens of them, lining the walls, ceiling, even the floor. Each door was whispering softly, voices overlapping. "Open us. We remember you. Come home." The streamer, shaking, reached for one of the handles. His viewers begged him to stop, but as his fingers touched the knob, the stream began to distort, showing dozens of other people, in other places, doing the same thing at that exact moment. And when the first door opened, every other door opened too. From inside came a blinding white light, and the silhouette of the woman in white multiplied 1,000 times, stepping through. "You made me real," she whispered. Now the house is everywhere. The video ended abruptly, but soon after, houses across the world reported the same thing. New doors appearing overnight, leading to rooms that didn't exist the day before. And inside those rooms, a faint voice could always be heard, whispering gently, "The road never ends." Then another upload appeared. The _house_EP 13.mp4, the new residence, premieres at midnight. Announced it. It just appeared on every device connected to the internet, streaming by itself. Soundless at first. Then a calm female voice spoke, "Welcome home." The video showed ordinary houses, millions of them across cities, towns, and villages. Each one had a new door somewhere inside, a door that wasn't there before. The camera drifted through one of these homes, showing a living room, a hallway, then stopping at the door. The knob turned slowly, creaking open to reveal what looked like another house on the other side. Not a room, not a shadow, another entire house stretching into infinity. And inside, people were walking around. Their faces were blank, their eyes empty. They were the missing ones: Rian, Dika, Sinta, Lena, Reno, Mira, Devin, Nadia, and now thousands more. They moved silently, repeating the same actions over and over. Sitting, eating, smiling, like echoes of their former lives trapped in endless routines. A soft humming filled the air. The woman in white appeared in the distance, her presence serene, her voice now kind. "They are safe," she whispered. "They are home." Then she turned toward the camera, toward the viewer, and said, "You built this world for us. Now we build it for you." Suddenly, the footage shifted to real-life live streams. People watching the video began appearing inside it, their faces flickering within the endless hallways of the mirrored house. The barrier between viewer and video was gone. Every reflection, every door, every screen became connected, And then the message appeared on the bottom of the feed. The new residents have been chosen. Check your door. Reports soon flooded in from around the world. People waking up to find unfamiliar doors in their homes. Some heard gentle knocking. Some heard their own voices calling from the other side. And a few disappeared. Hours later, one final file appeared across the network. The _house_EP14.mp4, The Last Door, premieres in 24 hours. Its thumbnail? A door slightly open, with a bright light spilling through. At exactly 0 o'clock, the final upload began to play. No title screen, no warning, only the sound of wind and distant breathing. The camera opened on a single corridor. Every door that had ever appeared, the ones in homes, offices, abandoned places, were now here, lining both sides of this endless hallway. Each one pulsed with light from within, as though hearts were beating behind the wood. Then the voice returned. Soft, calm, and unmistakable, the woman in white. This is where all roads meet. The shot panned slowly until it reached the very end of the hall. There stood one last door larger than the rest, carved from black glass. It had no handle, only a reflection. In the reflection were millions of faces. Every viewer who had ever watched any of the episodes. Their eyes blinked in perfect unison. "You brought the stories to life," she whispered. "Now life must complete the story." A deep rumble filled the corridor. Each door began to open, spilling white light and shadow into the hall. The missing residents stepped out still expressionless, walking toward the final door. As they gathered, they began to hum a low, unified tone that shook the walls. The mirror surface on the last door rippled. From within, a single hand pressed outward. Myra's voice echoed faintly. "It's time to close it." The woman in white looked back at her sad, almost human. "There is no closing, only returning." She reached toward the camera, and for a split second, the viewer could see their own room reflected behind her. The light engulfed the screen. The sound stopped. Then a line of text appeared. "The road is silent now. Do not open the door." The video ended. Hours later, when people checked their devices, the file was gone. But in some homes, a faint mark appeared on the wall. A rectangle, the outline of a door that wasn't there yesterday. And if you pressed your ear to it, you could still hear a whisper. Distant, soft, almost grateful. Thank you for watching. The House at the End of the Silent Road. End of Season 1.